and your children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only like 11 people alive of the 200 and something crew, and the entire ship was rotting down to the waterline. That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer, an explorer, going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty, its incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shatter your mind talking about Justin Bieber.
Hello out there. We're on the air. Happy frickin' Thursday, my friends. Whew. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good, Aaron. We're all right. We are all right. Hopefully this is the last day. I'm predicting this to be the last day of my allergies. It's going to be a tough one today, but we're going to get through it. Or should we? I don't know. It's kind of like, well, as you can tell from my eyes even, it's a battle today. I might just have to do the whole show like this. No, it's a bad idea. Well, we'll see how it goes. It might be a really short one today because I don't mind looking like a fool. I don't mind looking like a fool on the internet, but I can't even really see. So this is it's a tough one today. But my plan is, and I just remembered this morning, is that I used to take this. It was nasal spray. And it actually really helped for a couple of years. And then I just forgot about it. So I'm going to buy some today in the city. But here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to be sniffling. So if it's too bad, if I can't do it, then we're just going to call her a day. But we're trying. We're doing our best here. That's all you can ask for, I think, anyways. But anyways, let's just start talking so I don't even think about it. How about that? Let's get to the chat here. Give me 1 minute. Okay, let's see who's here. Who's who in the zoo? Sketchication's here. Rich, good morning. Sats and Sunsets, good morning and good night. Must be working nights. Sats and Sunsets. J-Dog. J-Dog's here. Says good morning, team. Good morning, J-Dog. Scotty Boy. It's the right place for bug chasing. Bug chasing. Good morning, beautiful people here with the Backpacker family. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Oh, you're not mowing lawns for SAS today, Backpacker. Captain's here. The captain is here. Has arrived. Johnny Midas in the chat today. Look at that. Johnny Midas. Good morning, man. Praetorian's here. Says, good morning, visionaries. Bitcoin Barber. The Guardian. Praetorian 91. Bitcoin Barber. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, Bitcoiners. No, good morning, Jor. What? Interspace Research. Good morning. Wow, we got 3. 2. We have 2 people watching on YouTube. 2. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to blame. But we have 2 people. Trying times, no doubt about that. Wow. But inner space research, I believe, is one of them. Josh says, good morning, Rumblers. How I missed y'all. Good morning, Josh. The King. Buck 52 is here. Good morning, Buck 52. Mark 65 Sats, Bob, Stewie, the boys. Good morning. Chuck says, good morning, everyone. Great to be here with you all. Good morning, Chuck. And Chuck's buying memes. Look at that. Love to see that. Let's have the best day ever today. It's tough start to the day, but we're going to turn it around. We're going to talk ourselves into it. And that helps, Chuck. That helps with morale. Let's keep morale as high as freaking possible today. Because the second we start tanking in morale, that's when we're done. Done for the day. Joshua says, spent yesterday at Bitcoin Plus in Toronto. Learned a lot about L2. Networked with my Ontario Bitcoin group. Gotta love the meetups. Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. Bitcoin Plus, BTC Plus. If I'm not mistaken, those are pretty technical conferences. This is tough. I need like some sunglasses or something. I'm not even going to look at myself in the. I know for a fact that whoever's watching this right now, you can tell what I'm battling with right now. It's a rough go. It is a rough go. J-Dog was the recipient of Chuck's membership. So thank you, Chuck. Congratulations, J-Dog. Bitcoin Barber says, still in Morning Joy. There we go. Still in Colorado, the Rocky Mountains. Love it here. That's awesome, man. J-Dog says, thanks. Josh says, shitty news on the fiat front. I did not get the remote job from home. I was hoping to secure when I first applied months ago. They went with a civil engineer instead, eh? Frick. Oh, well, we'll keep things high here. We'll keep the vibe high. And I know for a fact Josh will be you just got to trust. You just got to have trust, Josh. I know you know that. You just got to trust. Trust the plan. I know that's kind of a cliche thing to say, but it's true. It's true. The times that I've been off track in life, which has been many, you just got to ask and say, just guide me. I'm here. I'm open for it. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep putting in an effort, but I'm trusting, and it'll work out. No doubt about that, man. You got to look at this stuff as a blessing. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it really is, because the universe makes no mistakes. That is a fact. Is this the right place to talk about job rejections? BTC Backpacker donating plasma for sats this morning. Nice. Good man. Helping the world and helping the wallet at the same time. Josh says, morning Packer fam, been absent from your stream too. Sorry, eh? Yeah, keep at her. That's right. Gringo Poppy's here. Good morning. Maria 2500 says, good morning, everyone. It's hotter than blazes. Around here, but the work has to be done. God bless. Good morning, Maria. Great to see you here today. Is this the right place for nose sniffers? I'm doing my best not to. I'm doing my best. Look at this, Captain. Captain with the subscription. Let's see who gets it. Thank you, Captain. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. I'm feeling better already, actually. Let me be right back. Oh yeah, I came up with a plan just now, actually. I have a cure for this. Ooh, it is. It's freaking hotter than blazes here too, Maria. Holy shit. Heat is not what we want right now. Oh, we got some rainstorms today too. Nice. Okay, I got a plan. Trust the plan. But I wish that this was a little easier to do. Fucking shit. This might not work. Okay, let's just do this. Whatever. This is going to be fun. Okay. Yes. Okay, there we go. Let's see if this works. We got X-Wingist here to boost YouTube numbers. Oh, thank you. It's a nice looking dog. What is that? What are those dogs called? Basset Hounds? No. What kind of dog's that? Can I pet your dog? Eatable Zebra Stripes is here. Says, good morning, everyone. Been busy working a second job and preparing for the little one to arrive. Nice. Always stacking sats. Hope everyone is well. Good man. That's what we're talking about. Ate ice cream yesterday. First time in months. Living the dream. Eating ice cream. Good man. Scotty Boy says, I'll be watching on Stream Companion. What the hell is that? Life is what happens when you're too busy planning. Focus on actions. Outcomes are out of your control. True. Very true. Kev Keith says, working extra hours for sats, but I'm here in the background listening to the shenanigans. Nice. Oh, I missed a couple here. What happened? Sats and Sunsets. The Golden Whale over in Rumble sent $5 for a Flonase fund. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get what do you think Flonase costs here in Canada? I'm going to guess like $25. So far, we got 8. Chuck sent $3 to make $8 for the Flonase fund. And he said another morale booster. Thank you, Chuck. Believe it or not, that actually does help. Not just morale, but boost. It's a boost. It's a boost in energy. And when you're sick or your allergies are bugging you, that's what you need. You need good energy. Can't be thinking about it. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Paulie says, Josh, you will rock in all your endeavors. Your aims and outlook are true and will get you there. Cheers. No doubt about that. Very well said, Paulie. Robert's here. Styles Rose says, good morning, everyone. Let's go. Just do it. Future is bright. You got to wear shades. Love that song. Be the future. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Robert. Good message there, and good to see you this morning. Letha Frumble, 2021, says, good morning, guys. Good morning, Frumble. Good morning, Letha. The icon herself in the chat, in the house. It is what Backpacker showed on his stream, something I'm working on. What was that? Oh, the Stream Companion? What the hell is this? twobirdiesgolf.com. Jorster Lab, Jor, Stream. Huh. What the hell? What the hell is this? Scotty? What's Scotty building? Jorster. What do we have here? What do we have here, Scotty? Sat O. Who's Sat O? Sat 0. What is this? Rumble refused to connect. Connect to Noster. Okay, let's try this. Oh, you need this. It's funny. I was helping somebody yesterday who's actually in the chat this morning, and we were talking about Noster extensions, and I don't have one on this one. I don't have it, but I guess we could do it quick here. Should we? To join the chat. Okay, well, Scotty's building, so why wouldn't I? Although I don't really want browser extensions on this laptop. I don't really want browser extensions here. They're probably not, they're not harmful, I don't think, but it's just another attack vector. So Scotty, this is pretty cool, but you should have an option for, yeah, I'll check it out later. I'll check it out later. So I want to see, it's because you said you zapped 99 sats here, and it looks like my address is there too. So let's see if that zap worked. Let's check the Wally. First test today. Cool. Oh, we got a couple big zaps here to report by the looks of it. So I don't know what this is, Scott. Is this supposed to be like a zap stream? Okay, we got Sats and Sunsets zap 70 sats for show 70. Thank you, Sats and Sunsets. Mark zap 1650. Says happy Thursday. Thank you, Mark. Chuck also. So this is a Satoshi hat trick for Chuck. He got a membership. He sent in a fiat zap and he sent in a fat zap. Thank you, Chuck. We got Letha and Maria 5K, two absolute legends and icons. Sent in a shot of espresso each. Thank you, Letha. Thank you, Maria. And it looks like Scotty's zap came through. 99 sats arrived. And we got a big one, biggest of the day so far, from Jenny Legendary. A big Jenny zap. A double shot with a little more. So thank you very much, Jenny. Thank you, Letha. And thank you, Maria. Very much. And Chuck. Chuck got the Hattie. Let's get this off the screen for a second. Yeah, it's not working, but it says you can go open in YouTube. Oh, that took me to Rumble. That took me to Rumble, Scotty. So yeah. Pretty cool though. I'm interested to see what this is about. I like the looks of it so far. Something that works. That's what we need. We need something that works. Because Zapstream is usually works, but sometimes doesn't. Anyways, we got a hat trick here. Let's check it out. This is from Chuck. Satoshi hat trick today. So thank you, Chuck. Satrick. The Satrick from Chuck. My guy. Relentless Acres in the house. Look at that. Good to see you, Relentless Acres. Boris said, if 57K was the bottom, would you be happy with stack? If no, DCA. If 57K was the bottom, would you be happy with stack? If no, DCA. Looks like Jenny's up to something too here. Jenny, look at this. We got, wow, Jenny. So Jenny's got a Hattie too. Satrick for Chuck. Satrick for Jenny. Look at that. Look at that. Jenny said, Astapro, way better than Flonase for me. Yeah, I don't think it was Flonase. It's something like Flonase though. That's not what I was using, but it had a green base. I forget what it was called though. I'll have to figure out when I get there. Okay, let me see. Scotty said it'll say Rumble now. Yep, you're right. And it looks like it's working, Scotty. Oh, hold on. This is what it looks like now. Open on Rumble. What it looks like now. Open on Rumble. Scotty, look at this. She's working. She's working. And we got Jenny and Nico up on the screen for her too. That's look at this. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4 zap, an 88 sad zap. We need a shot of espresso on here, Scotty boy. We need a shot of espresso. We need a quadruple 8, the King zap. And we maybe need the Moravian, the 10,000 sad zap. And then maybe just for fun, you could put an 88,888 sad zap on there, just in case anybody's feeling crazy for the day. Get rid of these ones. Oh, I guess you can do a custom amount too. Let's test this out, Scotty boy. 88 sats, create zap. Oh, I need to be signed in. A NIP 07 signer is required to create a zap request. Enjoy the stream. Chat on Noster, zap the creator. Wow, this is cool. This is cool, Scotty. You should set it up so that you get like one sat from everybody who zaps. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. That's cool, man. That's cool. That is cool, cool, cool. Cedar Sats is here. Says, good morning, guys and girls and pets. Morning, Cedar. They'll say Rumble. Yep. I can make it so you can choose the amounts. Yeah. It shows custom amount there, but it'd be cool to have those, the regular buttons. Yeah, great work, Scotty. No doubt. Love to see that. I love to see people building shit. Because you're never going to lose when you're building things. You know what I mean? It's never going to be a waste of time. So we got Jenny. Oh, I got to play Jenny's Satoshi hat trick here. Here we go. So we got Chuck with one, and this is Jenny's today. So thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Chuck. Needs to link to your Nostr. Gotcha. To chat and zap. Okay. Well, I need to, if there's a way that you can, Scotty, I know that it's a lot to ask, but if there's a way that you can give the option to sign in without an extension, if you could just paste your NSEC. I know that's bad practice, but I don't want to put a browser extension on here. Or the other thing that you could do is you could use the Primal sign-in, where you scan the QR code and it's like a remote signer. That'd be kind of cool. So then I would just scan the QR code on the website, and then it would connect. It would use my private key from Primal to be signed in. Just some suggestions, but that's really cool, Scotty. That a boy. I want to give a couple shout outs here too, as well, to only BTC 2140 who subscribed to the Rumble channel a couple days ago. Trip 577 was a redneck yesterday, and we had Remy 88. Nice name and nice number there. The newest follower on Rumble. So if you're watching on Rumble, say hello. Say hello. We got about a week left, and we got hit our quota for how many people we have in the chats chatting. So I would appreciate it. It's a very easy thing, cheap thing, zero cost, but it helps the channel a lot. So remote signer on Primal. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, baby. That's a pretty cool thing. Remote signer. Man, the people of the world, they don't know what they're missing out on right now. They don't know what they're missing out on right now. In Bitcoin, in Nostr, in open source freedom tech, they don't have a clue what they're missing out on. It's kind of sad. I mean, I do my best here on this show, but it's still like people who are already in the know who we're talking to here. But there's just so many cool things and so many improvements, and it's just like it's night and day. It really is. Like the old world, the old system is just, it's laughable. It's actually laughable how bad things are, and just how it's horrible. And I'm not even just talking about like the fact that they're stealing from everybody every second of their life. I'm talking about just like the tools that people use, and just the processes and the way that people do things. It's just like, it's archaic almost at this point. Like literally, it's archaic. Look at this guy. Oh, Lucky must be there. Nope. We got the Arnie cam on today. What's he sniffing? Oh. Just making sure everything's all right on the property. Atta boy. Marco's here. Good morning, Marco. Good morning, Marco. Josh, we've missed you. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, Letha. We have missed him. Good feedback, though, Jor. Thank you. No, thank you. That's cool. Kachuk said, rumbling. It must be Scotty. Must be Scotty with his new website that's messing with things. But it looks to be working, Scotty. That's really cool. Really cool. Speaking of only Bitcoin, there they are. I was going to say he or she, but that's it. And by the way, big shout out to one of my favorite girls. I mean, there was, who was it? Ella Langley. She's been doing good stuff. But I want to give a shout out here to one of my other favorite girls in the world right now. Big shout out. This is the trend now. This is the trend. It feels like we're back. I don't know about you guys, and I've been saying this for a while now, that I think that we did hit peak clown world a couple of years ago. I think that we're on the way back. But this is Sophie Cunningham. She's getting grilled by the WNBA reporters for saying men shouldn't be able to play women's sports. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine my grandpa, your grandpa, reading this headline? Sophie is grilled by reporters for saying that men shouldn't be able to play in women's sports and refuses to back down. I said what I said. So shout out to Sophie, man. We need more people like this. I happen to actually really like her as an athlete, which is weird to say for a women's sport, but I really like her as an athlete, and even more so as a person. And we need more people like this. The one thing, I lost a lot of respect for professional sports and professional athletes during the COVID era, because all of them were chicken shits. All of them knew that something was fucked up and it was wrong what was going on, but not many of them, aside from like an Aaron Rodgers, who I still love to this day. Everybody was just, and that was the thing too, and I talked about this a lot during that time. I understand, because when you're making millions of dollars and you have that lifestyle, you have a wife and kids at home and a mansion and a Ferrari to pay for, you can't really just go out on a limb and put that all at risk. Not many people are willing to. Some did. And I think that they were, I think that they came out ahead, obviously. But I love this. I love Sophie. And great athlete, good looking girl, and a good and a set of balls. Really, I'd say Sophie has more balls than 95% of the men on this earth right now. I believe that. I really do. Sophie has more balls, bigger balls than 95% of the men on this planet right now. It's sad. I think it's one of the biggest sins right now is that people know that things are wrong. People know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on now, then I don't really know what to tell you. You're just fucking stupid. But it's impossible. You'd have to have no cell phone, no access to the internet to not know what's really going on right now. But people just choose to blissfully ignore it. They choose that route. They just want to be They don't want to step out of line. They don't want to piss anybody off. But we're getting to a point now, and I think we're kind of past the point already, honestly. I think we're past the point. I mean, if you're not going to do something about it now, I think you're just going to suffer the consequences for the rest of your life, and your family will too. And it's sad, but I think that those who are willing to speak up, go against the grain, take the harder path, even though it seems like, hell some days, we're going to be the ones who are rewarded on the other side of this. I have no doubt about that. And kind of what we're talking about today, honestly, it ties into what we're talking about today. And I titled the show, Life is Rigged in Your Favor. And I was thinking about this last night. And, we watch clips, we have these discussions. And, I think I have a decent grasp around it when I speak on it. But then as time goes on, it re-enters my subconscious. And then I think about a few different things and kind of start connecting a few dots to it. And that's what happened last night, where I was listening to my favorite book, which I've listened to about 5 or 6 times now, Happy Pocket Full of Money. And it's something that's right in line with the book, with Earl Nightingale, with Napoleon Hill. They all kind of say the same thing, which is, your rewards in life are in direct proportion to the service that you provide to others. So basically, you get out what you put into it. And that's a law. That's not just like a motivational idea. That's a universal law. And that's kind of like the theme of that, is that the universal law suggests that what you put into something, you get out of it. And there's really no way around that. That's the thing. So the universe, basically the idea is that the universe is perfect at keeping score. But there's a little bit more to it, because when people hear that, they think that the universe will reward them or take away from them. You know what I mean? So if you think about the universe keeping a scorecard of what you do, and you think about the good things that you do throughout the day, and maybe you help your neighbor, maybe you cleared the snow on your neighbor's driveway, or you gave $20 to somebody on the street, or somebody who was in line beside you who didn't have enough money to pay for it. The universe keeps track of that. And I think what people get wrong is they believe that the universe keeps track of the other side of it too. You know what I mean? So if you win the lottery, or if you, win a contest, or you're the person that somebody bought, the coffee and donut for in line, people feel like they owe something now. You know what I mean? Like that's what people measure as karma. They think that if they do something good, they're going to be rewarded for it later. And if they do something bad, they're going to pay for it later. That's literally what karma is, right? And I don't believe that it works that way. I always did. That's kind of how I've always lived my life, is through more karma than religion. But I was wrong. I was wrong about it. I don't believe that was the way that things work. I don't believe that that's how things work these days. I do believe that the universe keeps track of score in terms of the service and the contributions that you provide to the world. And so what that means is, like, if you're working and you're doing a bunch of things, even if you're not getting paid for it that exact second, that doesn't mean you're not going to get paid for it later on. The universe is perfect at keeping score. But I don't believe that it works the other way. I really don't. And I think that where karma fits into that is, like, people will receive something, or they'll do something that's wrong, and then they have this lingering thing in their subconscious that they took, now they have to give back in some way. And I just don't think that that's the case. And we watched a video not so long ago from a beautiful lady named Dolores. And I want you to listen to this again. I want you to listen to this video again. Because again, after thinking through this a little bit, I understand now what she's saying a little bit better. So let's watch this. This is Dolores Cannon. Not to be confused with Dolores Cannons on Pornhub, but Dolores Cannon. Be a good name for a porn star. Dolores Cannons. So this is Dolores. Listen to what she says here. I can't hear it. Can you? Oh, there we go.
Another dimension. Another vibrations and frequencies of the whole earth are changing to what's called the new earth. And this is in the Bible too, in the book of Revelations, when they talk about the new heaven and the new earth. It's just that it's happening right now.
And what are these changes going to be once they've happened? I mean, is the economy part of the change?
Oh, economy won't matter at all.
Well, the collapse of the current economy. I mean, is this part of this big change that's going on?
You call it collapse, and we don't. It's that the world you're living in. Okay. It all depends on what world you're focusing on.
What world are you focusing on?
The positive. My company is booming. I don't have any problems. See, it depends on what world do you live in.
Well,
but the old earth is where all of these things will be left.
What happens if you don't want the change? What happens if you want to live in this old world?
You'll stay with what you have created.
So where are you going?
I'm going with what's beautiful and positive.
Okay, so there's not people aren't leaving the planet as such, but there is a conscious shift.
Planets. It's separating into two.
But I thought that's what you meant. Yeah.
The old earth and the new earth.
Not a physical separation.
Yes. But you won't notice anything has happened.
So are you talking about, like, for example, like a dimensional shift? Where some of us, we're not going to know the shift's happened.
Into another dimension. It's happening now. It started in 2003 and it's happening right now. We are moving into the new earth. And people don't even notice. It's not going to just be bam and you're there. It's a gradual thing. It's been happening.
Do you think people are going to are finding, should I say, this change quite testing right now?
Well, you're going through a lot of things to see. Main thing is getting rid of the karma. You're going through a testing time. Do you want to stay with the old earth? Do you want to stay on the wheel of karma? Or do you want to move on where there is no karma in the new earth? And where it's beautiful and wonderful. Is that what you want to do?
But is no karma going to make us spiritually grow?
It's more spiritual than you can even ever imagine. And many, many people are moving there. They're moving into it right now.
Consciously or unconsciously?
They don't know it consciously. But in order to move, our vibrations and frequencies of our own bodies have to change to match that of the earth as it moves. See, the earth is a living being too. And it's moving into its next incarnation. It doesn't care if we go with it. We're just as happy if we didn't go with it.
I thought that was interesting when she said that. It doesn't care if we go with it. It'd be just as happy if we didn't go with it. Thinking about the earth as a living being, which it is. It absolutely is. I don't think anybody who's spent more than 10 minutes looking into how this stuff works would disagree with the earth being a living being. The whole thing is a living being. But what she said there is that it doesn't care if we go with it. It's just as happy if we didn't go with it. And what does that remind you of? That made me think of Bitcoin myself. That's literally exactly what Bitcoin's doing. And a lot of people think that Bitcoin is just this piece of code, this software program. And I mean, that's definitely part of it. That's kind of like the operational aspect of it. But there's much more to Bitcoin than that. And I would say that Bitcoin is a living thing. And, you know, that might sound crazy to a lot of people, but I think that Bitcoin is truly a living being. And the reason I think that is because it's alive and it's aligned with the universe and with nature, because nothing works on the network. Nothing works on the time chain. Nothing works within the proof of work consensus unless there's physical energy from the earth. Nothing works without that. No Bitcoin can be created without that. And no Bitcoin can be sent or transacted without that. So to me, Bitcoin's the same thing. It doesn't give a shit. Bitcoin doesn't care what you think about it. Bitcoin doesn't care that we're having all these arguments. Bitcoin doesn't care about anything. It is just what it is. And I I see a lot of similarities with what she's talking about there, and it's also interesting that she said it started happening in 2003. And this whole week we've been talking about this, the Hummingbird movie, 2012 as the end of the world. Remember that? 2012 being the end of the world. Everybody's worried that the Earth was just gonna, explode and we were all gonna be done, or there was gonna be a meteorite that hit the Earth and we're all gonna die. But the Mayans predicted that 500 years ago, that the end of the world, or the end of the Earth, I guess you might even say, was in 2012. So that kind of aligns with all this. And then there's the 2021, when we moved into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of information. And I mean, how could you hear this stuff and not believe in it? Like, I can't comprehend myself how somebody would look at these things and say, "Yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit." So she's talking about frequencies. She's talking about vibrations, and how you have to align yourself with the new Earth if that's where you want to be. And to me, what Bitcoin represents as part of this equation is the measuring stick for the new Earth. And it's hilarious to me. I've had so many conversations. I mean, the people who watch this show every day, they know this. But I've had so many conversations with people in the last year or two, and they're talking about the price of Bitcoin and the predictions and all these different things, and what happens if there's more, if the interest rates change, and if the Fed is hawkish, or if they're gonna print a whole bunch more new currency. None of that matters. None of that matters in anything other than the way we perceive Bitcoin today. But none of that matters. That's the old Earth that's creeping in, and it's very old school mentality. But I mean, it makes sense that people are kind of stuck in that, because that's the only thing that we've ever known. That's like the thing. It's like your whole, how you're, in the first couple of years of your life, your environment has a very big impact on the rest of your life. The words you hear, what you're told, how people treat you, all these different things are formed very early on in your life. But then imagine if you take that first 5 or 6 years and do that for 30 years or 40 years or 50 or 80 years. Imagine how ingrained that whole system is into your environment, into your own being. And so how hard it is to kind of break free of that completely. It's very difficult. Even if you have a couple ideas of what this new world looks like, it's just a completely different thing that many of us, including me, even struggle with seeing what it is. So when people are talking about the price of Bitcoin, you're bringing the old world into this, and you need to cut ties with that. And I do think it's a very worthwhile exercise for people to start measuring their life in Satoshis, in energy, because that's what Satoshis are. They're just they're a unit of energy. And so when you think about the world in the new Earth being measured in Satoshis, you can kind of already start doing that today. And I mean, when you got bills to pay, then you can't really avoid that at this time, I don't think. When you go to the store and there's dollar prices, but you can do the conversions yourself. And I do think it's a good idea to do. For example, I had a shower last night. This is just an example of it. I had a shower last night, and I turned the shower on, and I went and I forgot that I hadn't done my laundry. So I left the shower running for about 5 minutes, came back, and I was like, man, what a waste. What a waste. I should have just shut it off, because when you measure things, the old way of thinking is that, it's just water. It might be a couple more dollars on my electricity bill, or a couple cents. But when you think about it in Satoshis, it's much different, because that's what it is. It's measuring the energy, Satoshis. And this might sound a little bit abstract or crazy to people, but I kind of thought that was I probably just wasted 10 to 100 Satoshis worth of energy by running the shower there. And then you just start living your life a little bit differently. Less waste. That's what I see. A big part of this new earth is going to be much less waste, because when you actually have to work for it versus create it out of thin air, it's a much different thing. You pay attention to different things. And I think that this is another good exercise when you're thinking about your wants. I think that the one main thing that Bitcoin has taught me is the difference between wants and needs. And your needs, you can't really bypass. It's kind of a waste of time to measure your needs in Satoshis right now, but you can definitely measure your wants in Satoshis. And if you start doing the math in your head of what, if you just kind of anchor it to one thing, and this is what I do, but if you anchor it to one thing and you say, okay, if a house in this new earth is going to cost about, let's say, 200,000 Satoshis, is it worth it for me to buy this thing at the store or online if it's going to cost me 150,000 Satoshis or 250,000 Satoshis? Is that the same? Is it the same value, or am I overpaying for this thing right now? And I think that you'll make a lot of different decisions. It's not that you have to change your whole life and live like a bum or a homeless person, but it just makes you look at things differently. There's a lot less waste there. And then you start factoring that into your own time. This is probably a whole hour or two conversation worth of stuff here, but I think it's interesting. And it's in line with what Dolores is saying here. It's in line with what the Mayans said 500 years ago. The solar system, if you believe in the astrology stuff in the age of Aquarius, it's all lining up right now. And it makes a lot of sense too, right? Just like, think about this from the big picture here, because we're at the end of an era right now, the fiat era, which was the most extractive era, I would say, in human history, for the last thousands of years anyways. But we're out of that system. It's done. Again, I know that nobody's came on TV and told you that yet, but it's done. We're at the end of that era. I would argue that it ended in 2008 with the great financial collapse. And we're just kind of in the transition. That's what she said. It's going to be a very gradual thing. It's not something you just turn on and off. Everybody has to kind of go through this whole thing. And like she said, some people just aren't. Some people are going to spend their whole life on the old earth and they're going to die there, and they'll never get a chance to experience the new earth. But the cool thing to me is, like, you get to decide today. You're the one who gets to decide. It's not coming from any authority. You get to decide that. And that's one thing I've been very much aligned with Jeff Booth about. We may disagree about a couple things within Bitcoin, but a thing that I definitely agree with him is that, everybody says, when's this going to happen? When are we going to get the $1 million Bitcoin price? Or when are we going to move to a Bitcoin standard? When's this going to happen? And Jeff always says, and I agree with this wholeheartedly, you get to decide today. You can start doing that today. And really that's what our living in the future community was all based on. Is like, we don't need permission. We don't need to wait for everybody else to catch up here. We can already start living in this world. And that community came and was born without me even realizing what the whole core concept of it was and the premise of it was. But I see it now. It makes a lot more sense to me. Living in the future, it sounds like you're, when people hear that, living in the future, it's like you're super high tech, you're flying around on, hovering cars, but it's different than that. Now I see that. It's the new earth. It's aligning your vibrations and your frequencies and your measuring stick with this new world where there is no karma. So in this world, I believe anyways, you get out what you put into it. So the universe keeps perfect score of what you contribute, of what you add to it, the value that you provide, and it finds a way to give it back to you at some point. Not this second. That's kind of the old earth, right? You'd go to work for an hour, you'd mark it down, and then you'd get paid. When you were going to get paid for the work. Even if you sat on your ass and read the newspaper for an hour, that's the old earth. That's immediate return for your work that you did. And there's a lot of variations with that too, because you think about the jobs where people don't do fucking anything. They just sit there and watch Netflix for 2 hours, but they still get paid. And then also in that world, there's people who work their ass off the plumbers, the electricians, the construction workers, and they get paid half of what a government employee makes. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not in line with nature or the universe or anything like that. But in this new world, this is what I believe in a value for value world. If that's the way that you're thinking, that's your vibrations and the frequencies that you're putting off. Whatever you put into it, it might not come in a week or in 2 weeks, but it will find a way to return to you. And it's only good. It's only good. And I think that everybody's going to screw up. There's going to be some things that you do that you maybe didn't deserve, but you can't really chalk that up as, oh, it's going to go away from me at some point. You just take it. You just say thank you. And that's a world, that's an earth without karma, where you get rewarded for what you do. And for the things that don't really align with that or that happen by accident, you just kind of accept that as something. You know what I mean? And even when I think about that and say that out loud, it's like maybe you did win something. Maybe you won a contest, or you got something for free. There was an error and your bank account got credited $500 or something like that. You know what I mean? And people think like, oh, well, you know, this happened. There's no such thing as a free lunch. So now I'm going to pay for this at some point in the future. But when you look at it the other way, you say, okay, well, this happened. Maybe this is from something that I did 3 years ago. Maybe this is my reward for something that happened 10 years ago. But when you have that sort of mentality of the universe makes no mistakes, it keeps a perfect record of what you contribute, and that eventually flows back to you. I just feel like you begin to live your life in a much different way. And when you're living in a different way, you're putting off a different frequency. You're living on a different vibration. And I think that that is what is aligned with this new earth that Dolores is talking about here. Hopefully that makes sense.
We're like fleas on a dog.
Fleas on a dog. That's what she said. We're like fleas on a dog. And I think that that's also a good way to think about how we are with Bitcoin. Because again, Bitcoin doesn't care. It doesn't care what your opinion is on it. It doesn't care who's using it. It just is. It's a living, breathing thing. Because without energy, Bitcoin doesn't work. And that's in line with everything that is here with us.
Dog.
No. Only missed 5 seconds of that. So that's man, if you could take a picture of me right now versus when we started the show and go back to back, it would be like a home renovation show right now. I feel good. And I really want to say thank you to the people who are here today, because when we started, I was not in a good spot. But you showing up here, you contributing in the chat, the people who have but what did we call it over here in Rumble? Morale boosters. The people who have boosted my morale. I thank you. I thank you for doing that. You know, after all this, an hour into it, I forgot to check the Zap streams. Oops. Zapstream doesn't even have a name for my Zapstream looks different. Oh, I already got all these anyways. We got Sats and Sunsets, Chuck, Letha over in Zapstream, and maybe even a couple more. But yeah, super interesting stuff, I would say anyways. That's the kind of stuff that gets me going. Okay, give me 1 sec here. I never in a million years would have guessed that I would be able to go on a 20-minute rant there today. I figured I'd be able to speak for a minute, blow my nose, speak for a minute, blow my nose. But we're rocking. We are fucking rocking, baby. Okay, let's get through some comments to see what people have to say. I'm sure there's going to be some good comments here. If I know the chats, there's going to be some people who agree and some people who say, Jory, you're an idiot. But that's okay. Nick, good morning, man. It's a new profile pic. Nick. That's exactly why there's a WNBA and an NBA. Exactly. Plebinator was the recipient of the captain's membership. So congrats, Plebinator. And thank you again, Captain. Sophie C is a champ. Yes, she is. I love Sophie. She also refuses to wear advertised for Pride. Aaron Rodgers is just nuts. Really? I love Aaron Rodgers. Pretty cool, Scotty. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how that turns out. This is day one, so we're only going up from here. Shit, I might have spoken too soon. I guess I just need to get into a rant, and then I don't even think about anything else. Dolores believes that Earth is a school, which it isn't. It isn't in your opinion, right? So it's important to recognize that it isn't in your opinion. How do you know it's not? Why would you say that the Earth is not a school? What is a school? I mean, no, it's not a government fucking run infrastructure with dipshit purple hair liberals teaching kids about, butt stuff when they're 5 years old. It's definitely not that. But what is school? What is a school? Because there could have been people through the years who made people believe that school is something that it really isn't. But anyways, we got to move on because I can't get into every comment here. In school, you can leave whenever you want. I mean, in your version of a school, yes, that's right. In your version of a school. Great name, Dolores. Dolores Cannon, yes. Good old Dolores. Okay. There was one more thing that I wanted to share here. What was it? Oh, I got the whole world in his hands. Okay, Mo. Cardinal clubs. This was interesting too. I want to see what you guys think about this one. Now that we're on this topic, let's watch this. Let's watch Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's an interesting one for me. I still don't really know what he's all about, but I thought this was interesting. And let's take a look at this. Let's take a listen.
And I suddenly got it.
This is in 2009.
I understood suddenly how thought was just an illusory thing. And how thought is responsible for, if not all, most of the suffering we experience. And then I suddenly felt like I was looking at these thoughts from another perspective. And I wondered, who is it that's aware that I'm thinking? And suddenly I was thrown into this expansive, amazing feeling of freedom from myself, from my problems. I saw that I was bigger than what I do. I was bigger than my body. I was everything and everyone. I was no longer a fragment of the universe. I was the universe. And ever since that day, I've been trying to get back there.
Okay, this was the part that I thought was interesting. And I know he's an actor, so he's pretty used to weird stuff happening. But man, when he just said that there, like, look at him right now. He was in a very serious state there. He wasn't saying that to be funny, but yet the audience, because this sounds so far-fetched to them, the audience started laughing. at what he just said. So if I would have paused this before you heard the laughter here, you would have thought, I did anyways. And I mean, you guys might disagree with me here, but like he was deadly serious here, like very emotional about this. And then all of a sudden the audience started laughing. And so then he kind of adapted to that and he pretended like it was all kind of a joke. Like, watch.
It comes and it goes.
See, now he's playing it off like as if he was kind of joking about that. This is definitely you know, he's an actor, so he's used to working on the spot like this and adapting to the audience. But he wasn't joking about that. This was not a joke.
It's like
See, he's just like, what the hell just happened? Why are these people laughing?
riding a wave. Sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm off. But at least I know where I want to go. And I want to take as many people with me as I possibly can.
So let's watch this again and listen to him and watch how he is, and then listen to the audience react to it, and then he changes. Not that it's a big deal, but the audience, the point that I'm trying to make here is that this kind of language and this talk is so far-fetched to people that they have no idea even how to react to it. Their first instinct is just to laugh at it. Like, let's watch this again.
I woke up and I suddenly got it. I understood suddenly how thought was just an illusory thing. And how thought is responsible for, if not all, most of the suffering we experience. And then I suddenly felt like I was looking at these thoughts from another perspective. And I wondered, who is it that's aware that I'm thinking? And suddenly I was thrown into this expansive, amazing feeling of freedom from myself, from my problems. I saw that I was bigger than what I do. I was bigger than my body. I was everything and everyone. I was no longer a fragment of the universe. I was the universe. And ever since that day, I've been trying to get back there. It comes and it goes. It's like riding a wave. Sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm off. But at least I know where I want to go. And I want to take as many people with me as I possibly can.
There's a couple of comments in here. I see, even most people in the freaking chat here. Yeah, see, go through the whole thing and there's just I don't know. It's difficult to explain. But Jim been hitting the shrooms. Yeah, maybe, but I mean, this is kind of what everything we talk about. This is right in line with that. And again, that's it's just so foreign of a concept that's literally what people do. People just laugh at it because they can't. It's not. You know, how could I say this? When somebody like this says something that powerful, This is where the frequency comes into. This is a perfect example of frequencies. So unless you were in tune with his frequency, and I like thinking about it like a radio station, right? You're driving down the road, you tune into a frequency, that's what you hear. If you're on that frequency, that's what you hear. And the people in the audience here, they're not on the same frequency as Jim Carrey was at this moment. I don't know Jim Carrey, what he's done, where he is now. I have no idea. I'm not going to speculate on that. But in this exact moment, Jim Carrey was talking in a way where not a lot of people were on that frequency. And that was the reaction to it. He was very serious there. Like, you could tell, or, you might have to watch it again a couple times, but like, the more I watch it, the more clear it is to me that he was like pouring his heart out there to the audience, and they started laughing. He had this epiphany in his life, this aha moment, and he was trying to share it with people, but they weren't on that same frequency, so they didn't understand it. So it's just a good analogy for kind of where we are right now. And for the people who are watching this and thinking like, hey, Jor, what the hell are you talking about? That's kind of the same thing. So whether I'm right or wrong, we're just on different frequencies. If you're hearing me talk about this and you're not understanding it or getting it, then we're just on different frequencies, and that's okay. Give me a second here. And the last thing I'm going to say about this is, well, I don't know why people are saying rest in peace. I guess people believe he's dead. But yeah, the last video of him was, see, here we go. This is Darcel said, I love you, Jim. He was speaking the truth, but not everyone took him serious. He was telling the world the truth about what's happening, and now they took him out. Well, I don't know about that, but not everyone took him serious. Yeah, they were laughing at him. Somebody said, I experienced it once a year ago and still trying to get there again. But there was some comments. Wow, there's a lot of comments here saying what I was just saying there too, because I wanted to make sure. I was like, am I crazy here, or was that look at this. Rose says, I say Rose as if I know her. Rose said it was like a trip without the shrooms, just you and your mind. Me personally, I can't say I've ever been through something like that. I have no doubt that I will. I feel like I'm primed for it right now. But yeah, anyways. It's the same kind of thing in Bitcoin, right? Where Satoshi had that famous quote that said, if you don't understand or something, or you don't believe me, I don't have time to explain it to you. To me, I see that as Satoshi saying, if you don't understand Bitcoin yet, you're not on the same frequency. You're not ready for it yet. And that's okay. But why would I waste my time? And I just think that that's how we should be approaching this whole thing, is understanding that most people aren't there. Most people are at a much different frequency than we are. And when you're trying to speak to somebody on a certain frequency and they're on a completely different one, no matter what you say, they don't hear it. It's not that you're telling it in the wrong way or you're not explaining it properly. It's just that they're not ready for it yet. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Okay, well, let's get to some comments here, and then we're going to wrap it up because I've kind of already outdone myself today. Karma is a psyop. The elites know there is no karma or repercussions. Yeah, I mean, when you think about it that way, that actually makes a lot of sense, right? And one thing I've said on the show for a long time, and I was wrong about it, but I said, like, you know, I'm not expecting anybody to be arrested, because I believe that they, you know, for what they've done on this in their lifetime, they'll pay for that at some point. Oh, I got to sneeze. So yeah, I mean, when you say it like that, that actually does make a lot of sense to me, because I've always wondered, like, how could people do this knowing that they're eventually going to pay for doing that to people? You know, whether it was the COVID stuff or the, you know, the child trafficking stuff or whatever these sick fucks have been doing for all these years. I've always thought, like, how could they do this knowing that they're going to pay for this at some point? But I mean, when you say it like this, it kind of does make sense. And Buck 52 says the elites have to tell you what they're going to do by predictive programming. They're avoiding the impact of karma. Well, I mean, that's a fair take too. But me personally, I'm on the side of I don't think that I don't think that there is karma, and there could have been at some point. I don't know, and that's kind of what the discussion is here. Is that the old Earth had karma? That's what the rules were. But the new Earth, that's not the case anymore. I got to push back on the spiritual stuff. I'd rather just frame it as a mindset, but that's just me. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you also have to define what spiritual is. Like, I'm never going to tell you what to believe or what, you know, religion you should be following. I don't believe in religion myself. I don't. A lot of people have, you know, crucified me for that. I don't think that I don't believe in religion. I think that religion is the biggest psyop of all. When you make people live in fear of what they can and can't do, so that one day they can get to a better place, and if they don't, then they're going to go to a very bad place. That's not. I believe in the teachings of Jesus. I believe in that, but I don't believe that that's a religion. That's a different thing. So when you're talking about religion, spirituality, a lot of people kind of put those in the same box, but I think that they're much different. And I think that spirituality is something that is different than religion, much different. I mean, to discount spirituality, that's saying that you don't have a spirit. That's saying that your physical body here is the only thing that you have. But I think that it's just your spirit with a physical body. It's not the other way around. It's not you're not your body with a spirit. You are your spirit in a body. But again, that's just what I believe. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. That's just, I'm not trying to you know, push anything on anybody here. And if nothing else, maybe just look at the world through a slightly different lens. Okay. Letha says, I had QHHT by Dolores Cannon practitioner, quantum healing hypnosis technique, about 10 years ago. I described to her 2 past lives. No idea if it's real. I got really upset describing the second life. Wow. Wow. That's crazy, Letha. Josh said, yeah, you got to wonder if our life energy is recycled somehow. Past lives could make sense. Oh, yeah, that's what I think it is. That's your spirit. That's what carries on. You don't go anywhere else. Your physical body doesn't go anywhere else. You just leave it behind, on to the next one. And, you know, I don't know how long it is between. It's not like you just die, or your physical body dies and then you're reincarnated the next. No, what's it called? Reincarnated. And reincarnated. What's incarcerated? That's arrested, right? Reincarnated the next day. I don't know how long that is. Is it 50 years? Is it 100 years? Is it never again? I don't know. It's interesting to me, though. I started talking about someone I lost and got more upset than I ever remember being. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. So you did that with Dolores? Oh, by a practitioner of hers. Gotcha. Wow. That's crazy, Letha. Earth is a recycling bin for souls. This is a hell realm. We are in hell, but in a transition phase. It could be. Could be. I believe that maybe we were in hell. I believe that I feel like I'm in heaven now. I really do. I really do. See, and then the flip side of this is Earth is a prison. I don't agree with that, man. I think that the prison that is created by the prison that's created is by the people who don't want you to experience what it should be. So then when you don't experience it, when you don't realize your full potential as a human, that's prison. That's hell to me. And when they keep you in a state of very low vibrations and they tell you from a very early age that, you know, you're powerless, you're weak, you're a monkey on a spinning rock, all these things are designed. They're by design to keep you at a very low vibration so that you never come close to what we're talking about today. And I really believe that this transition is not by accident. It's not some fucking crazy dream I had. Like, we're literally in the middle of this. I really believe that. And I think it's hard to argue that, truly. Hard to get a doctor for the current life, never mind the past ones. Yeah, no doubt. New Agers like Dolores say the Earth is a game too. In a game, there are a set of rules to abide by, and you can turn off the game at any time. In a game, there are a set of rules to abide by. Well, I think that there are. And that's what I'm saying here is I think that this new Earth that we're moving into, the rules are the code. That's again, this might sound fucking crazy to people, but I don't care. I really don't care, because this is just my thoughts. This is my opinion on things. But when you have a consensus like Bitcoin, people think Bitcoin's just like this money. You buy it, you get rich off of it. Man, if you only knew. But it would make sense if everybody plays by the same set of rules and everybody, we could enforce those rules without any human involvement. Wouldn't that make sense? Because humans ourselves, we're subject to corruption. We're subject to manipulation. We're subject to many different things. But when you have something written in code that is very difficult to change, that becomes the rules. And as society changes, those rules might change too. But that's what the rules that everybody agrees on. In Canada, in China, in Europe, everybody's playing by these same rules. Doesn't that make sense? And everybody knows what the rules are. And nobody has the ability, no single person or a small group of people have the ability to change those rules. Doesn't that make sense? So when I say that Bitcoin is the unit of measurement in this new Earth, that makes sense to me. Because it's different. In the old Earth, people had the ability to change the rules. Or if they had enough money, they could bend the rules to their favor. That's not how it should be. So in that sense, I would agree that that is hell. That is a version of hell. But it's done. It's done the day that you say it's done. It's done. Cedar said, pricing items in SaaS drastically changed my spending habits. I'm not cheap in any way at all, but now I always ask myself, would I rather buy this, or is it smarter to get that in many sats instead? There you go. Animals in nature don't worry about a paycheck. It's true. Okay. Robert said, what do you mean by stop paying off your imaginary debt? Who said that? Who said that? Dolores? Or who said that? Hang on. Pretty deep show for having to cut off every 5 minutes here. Cedar said, I live with and around animals in the forest, from little critters to big ones and everything in between. It's fascinating to immerse yourself in that world. So cool. Can learn a lot from animals. True. I always, ever since moving out here 4 years ago, it's really changed the way I see the world. Whether it's spiders or bugs or anything, I just used to hate them. But now I'm just like, well, if they're here, then there's probably a reason why they're here, other than horseflies. I don't know why horseflies exist. And they're the only insect that I will just kill without even any sort of regret, because I don't know why they're here. And maybe I should just trust that there's a reason why they're here. I don't know. But I just fucking hate horseflies. Maybe animals have no soul. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that either. Animals definitely have a soul. Yeah, I mean, they definitely don't have the what are they called? The highest, the facility? No, what is it? The highest what are the things that separate humans from animals? It's like an imagination. This isn't what I'm looking for. But there's like 8 things that humans have that nothing else has. Imagination, intuition, it's higher faculties, facilities. What are the higher faculties that humans have? It's pretty close. Imagination, intuition, reason, perception, will, and memory. Yeah, that's true, because memory, though, memory is interesting to me. The capacity to store, retain, and recall past experience, knowledge, and lessons. I feel like if animals didn't have memory, how would they ever get trained? I don't know. Those are from Bob Proctor. Frick. Okay. 1 second here, and then we're going to hit the road. Muted. Let's hit the road here. Big shout out to Chuck, Jenny, for the sat trick today. Very very helpful on this beautiful Thursday. I did my best. I know it wasn't the easiest show to listen to or watch, but I appreciate you guys sticking around here. We got a couple more zaps to report here. We got a 4444. Look at that. Love that one. That's from Cedar. Cedar says, happy Thursday. Cedar Sats. Thank you, Cedar. We got 21 sats from Letha, who's zapping from Scotty's new experiment. Look at that. And Scotty said, chat going off over here. Is it? It looks like there's Letha and Scotty over there. Yeah, it's going off all right. Letha says, hey, Scotty, can you see me? And then she's up 21 and 99. Love that. Shout out to Scotty, too, for putting that together. That's pretty cool. And to David T., who's up 420 units of freedom over in Zapstream. Okay. Well, that's it. I did want to get to one more. Nick said, I don't know how else to see this time here other than the school and learning. I agree. I agree. Hey, Paradigm. Good morning. Inner Space says, I feel you, dude. Oh, nice. Good. At least somebody's, resonating here. Kachuk says, people use spirituality to explain what we cannot grasp. Mentally, physically, it's the same as fiat people believing that inflation is a given. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Buck 52 says, your mind must be open to receive. Yes, I think that's the main takeaway that I would leave with everybody today is keep an open mind. That's going to be your most powerful weapon moving into the new earth. I would say open mind. Bless you, Primer, are you saying that because I sneezed? My religion is Bitcoin. That's probably the closest thing, but I wouldn't even say that because I don't know. That's a deep one. What is spirit if not our interpretation of our thoughts and our actions given an object? It's just a psychosis to help grasp it. Maybe. Spirituality is best. Religion kills people. I agree with that. Earth is either a paradise or a prison, depends on the person's perspective. Yes. Agree. 95% of our life is program, 5% is action. True. Robert says that was in your comment show notes. Oh, I see. Well, AI helps me with that every morning. I just put in a little blurb of what I want to talk about, and then they give me a nice description there. But I guess what would that mean? Maybe we'll end with this today. Stop paying off your imaginary debt. What that would mean to me, based on the conversation that we had today, is that it doesn't have anything to do with your financial debt. That has to do with karma. People think that because something they did in the past or something that was done to them, they either are owed something because of it or that they owe back because of it. That would be a debt, right? That's karma. If you're waiting for something negative to happen to you because of something that you did in the past, that's a debt. And people spend their whole life waiting for that to be repaid. And they just kind of put themselves in their own little mental prison. That's what I would take from it. But anyways, Cedar says probably won't make the live tomorrow. Have a good weekend. No worries, buddy. Thanks for being here today, and thanks for the zap. Do you want to know how to get there? 10 grams of mushrooms and you will believe in spirituality. No doubt. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Once again, to everybody on Rumble for getting me through the show today. Big shout out to Robert, Jenny. Oh, Robert sent in 2 5s. Thank you, Robert. I only saw one of those. Robert sent in $2 or $2 $5 for the Flonase fund. So thank you, Robert. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Chuck. And thank you, Sats and Sunsets. And I really appreciate it. So that's it. Thanks for getting through it with me today. We'll be back here tomorrow for Fat Zap Friday. And that's it. Have yourselves a great day. I love you all, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.